Uttam yat samudrasya himadraschaiva dakshinam varsham tad bharatam nama bharati yatra santati. The land that lies in the north of the ocean and to the south of the snowy Himalayas is called Bharat, where dwell the descendants of Bharata. This is the land we call India, our beloved motherland, who is not just a piece of land, but a living soul, a beautiful blend of cultures, traditions, and languages. Respected dignitaries and my esteemed audience, it is my honor to speak on a topic very close to my heart. What can I do for my motherland? Firstly, if we turn the pages of history, we find that India was once a beacon of wisdom, peace, and prosperity. Spiritually and materially speaking, we led the world. The world looked up at us as the Vishwa Guru, the teacher of nations. Scholars like Hyun-sang, Fa-hyung, and Megasthenes braved the treacherous terrains of the majestic Himalayas just to study at our ancient universities like Taxila and Nalanda. But look around us today. Where is that India? Has she vanished? No, that India has not disappeared. She is only in a deep slumber. And trust me, the day her children awaken and remember the greatness that flows in our veins, India will for sure rise again, more glorious than ever before. But what has caused her to fall asleep? There is no single reason. We betrayed our values, buried our culture, and abandoned our duty. We ignored the cries of the poor, allowed our heritage to fade, and wandered away from the path of our ancestors. And the deepest wound? Our women, once worshipped as Sita, Savitri, Damayanti, the living power of Shakti, have been insulted and cast aside. So, after hearing how great our India once was and what she has become now, a fire must have been lit within your hearts. A question: what can I do for my motherland? Firstly, if we want India to rise again, we must start by rebuilding her backbone, the masses. We hear the cry, India is poor. But remember, no one else can uplift the poor. They must rise with their own strength. Uddhayedatmanatmanam. One must lift oneself by one's own efforts. This is the law of life. Yes, we can give food and money, but for how long? Without the will to rise, no help is lasting. Another reason for India's long slumber is that she has withdrew into herself like an oyster. And we, her children, become selfish. We stop sharing the treasures of wisdom our ancestors left us. So, what can I do? I can be unselfish. I can share the jewels of knowledge with my fellow countrymen through education. As our scriptures say, ornaments may fade, but the jewel of knowledge is the only true adornment. But let us not forget what Swami Vivekananda said. That education which does not help the common masses to stand on their own feet, which does not build the strength of character and courage of a lion, is not real education. So, let us all make a pledge today that we will advocate for practical, value-based education, especially for children in rural and underprivileged areas. If India is to be strong, her children must stand tall, as they are the citizens and leaders of tomorrow. So what can I do for India's children? I can protect them, I can nurture them, I can teach them. Because serving a child is not charity, it is nation building. For India to rise, her women must rise. In ancient India, women were revered as Shakti, the power of universe. But today, that same radiant force is dim. Swami Vivekananda once said, there is no chance for the welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. So, inspired by his words, I vow to stand up against disrespect and misbehavior towards girls in my school, streets, and neighborhood. I'll treat everyone equally, encourage my friends to do the same, and never stay silent in the face of injustice, because silence before injustice is tantamount of betrayal to my motherland. If I truly love my motherland, I must obey her laws, uphold her values, and fight corruption, not with violence, but with truth and integrity. At last, you may question, I am just one person. What difference can I make? To that, let me remind you, every drop of water makes a vast ocean. And let me leave you with a verse in the Vishnu Purana. Blessed are those born in the land of Bharat, for in them lies the path to heaven and final liberation. Even the gods sing praises of such souls. So, what are we waiting for? Let's take up the sacred idea. We are born to serve our nation. Let's remind ourselves every day that we have the power to save the future of India. Let's be the light that awakens the sleeping mother. Let's raise her up, stronger, prouder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you.